tailgate talking about places we'd never seen. You said you wanted big skies. I said I wanted everything. Your laugh used to cut through silence like headlights through the rain. But somewhere between someday and later, we stopped saying each other's name. We weren't broken, just unfinished, just scared of what was real. Two kids trying to sound certain about feelings we couldn't seal. Almost something feels heavier than nothing at all, because you can see what it was supposed to be every time you fall. We were almost something forever, almost brave enough to stay, almost learned how to fight for love instead of walking away. I still hear you in the quiet, still answer when you're not there. Almost love is a long shadow that follows me everywhere. I tried blaming bad timing, tried blaming age and fear, but truth is we were standing right where love needed us here. I see you sometimes at the gas station, different hair, same eyes. We smile like polite strangers, both pretending we're fine. And I drive away remembering how close we came to truth, how almost is the word that hurts when you're no longer young. We were almost something worth saving, almost learned how to choose. And that's the kind of heartbreak that never really leaves you. Daddy never talked about feelings. He talked about work and weather. Said a man shows love by staying, by holding things together. I watched him bleed through busted knuckles, smile like it didn't hurt, carry the weight of being needed like it was his birthright curse. He taught me how to stand my ground, how to shake a man's hand, but never taught me how to say I'm not okay, I can't. I used to swear I'd be different, swore I know when to stop, but here I am burning myself down, trying to hold what's not. I'm my father's son, I hear his voice in my head telling me to be strong, even when I should rest instead. I carry a silence in my chest, His hope in my bones, trying to build a better life without repeating what I know. I see his eyes when I lose my temper, see his fear when I stay quiet. I finally understand now while I've scared him to death. If I ever have a son of my own, I'll teach him something new, that strength ain't just surviving. It's knowing when you're through. I'm my father's son. But I'm learning how to bend, how to let myself be human, not just hold on till the end. That pickup still smells like cold smoke and sun-baked vinyl seats. Like every mile we ever drove was trapped in the engine's heat. Your lipstick stain on a coffee cup, I kept it like a fool, like proof we were once real before we turned into rules. We used to chase the county line just to feel the night getting wide. You'd put your feet up on the dash and laugh like you could fly. The bills came in like weather and time got mean and fast. But we stopped talking about forever, like forever was too much to ask. Now your picture's in the glove box, folded on the corner twice. I tell myself I'll throw it out, but I never pay that price. I drive past your old driveway, slow down like I'm praying, like maybe regret lies there and waits for me to say something. You said love shouldn't hurt this bad, I said love always does. Funny how we both believed it, like pain was proof of us. The radio plays that same old song, the one you used to sing, and every word feels like a match I didn't mean to light again. I should've fought harder maybe, should've listened when you cried, but I was raised to keep it together, not to look you in the eye. I thought providing was loving, thought silence meant I'm strong, but silence is a slow goodbye that lasts when you're gone. Now I'm learning the hard lesson that fine is not a plan, and later becomes forever when you don't understand. If I could rewind one moment, I'd pull you close and say, I don't know how to love right yet, but I'm willing to learn today. But all I've got is highways and that glove box memory, a photograph that keeps reminding what we almost got to be. There's a bar on County Road 7 where the neon always hums, where broken men hold their secrets like bottles with the labels gone. The sign out front is half lit, like it's tired of pretending to, and the jukebox plays Old Truth in a worn-out two-step groove. I don't go there to get wasted, I go there to get quiet, to sit with my regrets without the world trying to deny it. The bartender knows my story, but he never asked my name. He just slides another whiskey like forgiveness looks the same. I lost a woman who believed in me, lost a job I swore I'd keep. Funny how rock bottom's not a floor, it's stairs that never sleep. I remember standing in the kitchen, arms crossed, eyes too tired, saying I can't love a man who's always fighting being wired. I told her it'll get better, like I was reading off a script, but better is a promise that you'll break in little slips. Now I watch the ice melt slowly in a glass I don't deserve, and I hear her voice in every song that says love has nerves. County Road 7 feels like exile, but it also feels like home, because nobody there expects you to pretend you're not alone. There's a kid in the corner booth with a ring on a chain. He keeps touching it like a wound that never stops the pain. An old man tells a story about Vietnam and God. Says, son, you can survive hell and still feel oddly robbed. And that line hits me harder than any drink I ever had, because I've survived my own mistakes, but I still feel like I'm trapped. I'll walk outside to breathe the night, hear crickets in the dark, and I swear for half a second I can feel my old heart start. I don't need a miracle, I don't need some sudden change. I just need one honest morning where I don't feel strange. So I drive back down that county road, past fields and sleeping farms, thinking maybe hope is stubborn, like a child in your arms. County Road 7, keep my secrets, but don't let me die here too. If tomorrow shows up willing, I'm gonna try to tell the truth. She wore that red dress like a warning, like trouble learned how to smile. She didn't walk into the room, she arrived like a wildfire. Everybody saw her coming, like a storm across a field. And I stood there with my good sense, like it was something I could shield. She asked me if I was lonely, like she already knew the answer. I said only on the nights I'm sober. She laughed like she loved disaster. We danced too close to the edge of every promise I had made. She said don't talk about forever, and kissed me like she stayed. She was sweet like summer thunder, beautiful and hard to hold. She had a way of making sin feel honest, not cold. I should have known she was running from something deep inside, because her eyes would turn distant right after she'd say I'm fine. She said love was just a habit, the people used to call, that the best thing you can do is never hand someone your hope. And I believed her for a while. This believing felt like power, but love without surrender is just loneliness with flowers. Now red don't look romantic, red looks like warning signs, red looks like the tail lights of a goodbye still rewind. Don't blame her for leaving, she never said she'd stay. I blame myself for thinking I could change her anyway. I keep that red dress memory like a scar you shouldn't touch, 'cause it reminds me passion ain't the same thing as trust. And if I ever love again, I'd choose the quiet kind, the one that feels like safety, not like losing my mind. Mama keeps a box in the closet with my childhood in it neat. Baseball cards, a broken watch, and pictures of me falling asleep. She said don't throw away the past, like the past could still behave, like it wouldn't crawl back out when you're at your weakest days. I I used to laugh at that box, call it sentimental pain. But lately I've been needing anything that feels like same. Because life gets heavy when you're older. Not just bills, not just time, it's the weight of all the people you couldn't save in time. I lost my best friend to a bottle, lost my cousin to the night, lost pieces of my own father before he ever said goodbye. And I still carry all those losses like stones in my chest, trying to be a good man while I'm barely holding rest. One day I opened that old closet, pulled the box into the light, and I found a picture of my mother, smiling like she was alright. It hit me like a simple truth, so clean it made me cry, that love is not just staying, love is learning how to try. So I called the girl I broke, the one who waited years, and I didn't ask for anything, I just owned my fears. She didn't forgive me instantly, but she didn't slam the door. She said, I don't know what this could be, but I'm willing to talk more. And that's the closest thing to mercy I've ever understood. That hope isn't loud or perfect, hope is doing what you should. She didn't forgive me instantly, but she didn't slam the door. She said, I don't know what this could be, but I'm willing to talk more. And that's the closest thing to mercy I've ever understood. That hope isn't loud or perfect, hope is doing what you should. I still remember the first time you trusted me, handed me your whole heart like a fragile thing. You said, don't break it, I've already been broken. I said I won't, like I knew what that meant. But I was young and proud and careless, thought love was just showing up. Didn't realize the small moments are where you lose someone's trust. It wasn't one big betrayal, it was 1,000 small delays. Not calling back, not listening, not seeing your tired face. You asked for my presence, I gave you a paycheck. You asked for my honesty, I gave you I'm fine. And I didn't notice the distance till you stopped fighting to be close. That's when you realize love leaves quietly, long before it goes. Now I sit in this empty kitchen where your coffee mug used to be, and I trade every damn dollar for one more chance to see. The truth is love needs maintenance, not flowers once a year. Love needs you to show up fully when nobody's cheering near. If I ever get a second chance, I won't waste it on pride. I'll do the hard, small daily work, I'll stay on the same side. Because losing you taught me the lesson that I should have learned before. That love don't die from hate, love dies from being ignored. night I left this town, it wasn't dramatic. No tears on the dashboard, no song on the radio, just the sound of gravel under tires and a silence that felt heavier than goodbye. Mama stood on the porch pretending she was fine. Daddy nodded like that was enough. That's how love works around here. You don't say it, you just don't leave. I thought leaving meant becoming someone, thought distance would make me brave. Didn't know you could cross state lines and still carry the same ache. Every town I landed in had a bar that felt like home. Same men telling different stories about women who didn't stay long. I learned how to smile at strangers, learned how to answer how you doing, with words that sound alive even when you're not. I chased promotions, chased weekends, chased a version of success that never asked me who I was, just who I could impress. I slept in rooms with no pictures, ate dinners that tasted like noise, and every wind felt quieter than the life I tried to avoid. Back home, the seasons kept moving, cornfields turning like clocks. My name still lived in conversations like I never left the block. Daddy got slower, Mama got quieter, the porch lights stayed the same. Funny how the things you run from don't ever change their name. I came back on a Tuesday, nothing special, nothing planned, just tired of being impressive, tired of being the man. The house smelled like a wood and forgiveness, like mistakes that had cooled off. Mama hugged me a second longer, like she knew where I'd been lost. Daddy didn't say I told you so, he just handed me a beer, sat down beside me in silence, like silence was what I needed to hear. I realized then how much I missed the sound of nothing happening. No sirens, no deadlines, no one asking what I was becoming. I walked past the high school football field, lights off, stand asleep. Remembered thinking this place was small, when really I was scared to keep, scared to stay, scared to fail here, scared to be known too well. It's easier to disappoint strangers than to break the people who raised you. I thought coming back meant surrender, like I'd lost some invisible fight. But standing there under that empty sky, I finally slept that night's becoming. I walked past the high school football field, lights off, stand asleep. Remembered thinking this place was small, when really I was scared to keep, scared to stay, scared to fail here, scared to be known too well. It's easier to disappoint strangers than to break the people who raised you. I thought coming back meant surrender, like I'd lost some invisible fight. But standing there under that empty sky, I finally slept that night. Now I wake up early without an alarm, coffee tastes like memory. I help Daddy fix what keeps breaking, learn how much strength lives in routine. I don't tell people I made it, I don't tell them I failed, I just tell them I came home. And somehow that feels more real, because freedom isn't leaving, freedom is choosing to stay, and loving the life that knows your name. Even on your weakest days, I left this town chasing everything, came back understanding why. Some roots don't hold you down, they hold you upright. The night you said you were leaving, you didn't raise your voice. You folded laundry like it mattered, like this was just another choice. The TV talked about the weather, I stared at the wall, trying to understand how love can sound so casual when it falls. You said I don't hate you softly, like that was supposed to help, but indifference cuts deeper than anger ever felt. We used to argue about nothing, just to feel close again. Now we were calm and reasonable, like strangers, learning when to end. Small betrayals, not cheating, not lies, but choosing work over conversation, choosing sleep over trying. Love didn't die in a moment, it starved over time, ignored like an unpaid bill, till it stopped feeling like mine. I stood there holding your suitcase, like it weighed more than clothes, like it carried every version of us we never got to know. You paused at the doorway, hand on the frame, like maybe the house would speak up and call out your name. But houses don't fight for love, and neither did I. That's the part I'll carry forever, the quiet goodbye. Now mornings arrive without meaning, your mug's still in the sink. I talk out loud to empty rooms, more than I'd like to think. People ask what happened, I say we grew apart. That's the clean version of the story, the one that spares my heart. But the truth is less poetic and much harder to say. We stayed polite while love slowly walked away. I'm learning now that presence isn't simply being near, it's choosing someone daily, even when staying feels like fear. If I ever love again, I won't confuse calm with safe. I'll remember how silence sounds right before love escapes. letter came on a Wednesday. No return address, just my name. I knew before I opened it that something wouldn't be the same. Your handwriting still leaned to the right, like you were always in a hurry. I sat at the kitchen table, already feeling unsteady. You wrote about forgiveness carefully, like it was something fragile. Said you hoped I found peace, said you were doing okay now. You didn't ask how I was doing, didn't reopen no wounds. That's how I knew you were done, that's how I knew I was too late. I remembered every chance I wasted, every call I didn't make, because I thought time was endless, because I thought love would wait. The past doesn't come back screaming, it comes back calm and kind. It comes back once you've learned there's no undo button in life. I drove past the old places where we said we'd grow old. They look smaller than I remembered, or maybe I just got old. I realized regret isn't loud, it doesn't beg a fight. It just sits beside you quietly every damn night. If I could answer that letter now, I wouldn't ask for another try. I'd just say you were right to leave, and I'm sorry it took me this long to see why. Some lessons arrive too late to save what you lost, but not too late to change what they call. My brother calls on Sunday evenings when the house gets too quiet. We don't talk about the hard stuff, we talk around it. He asks about work, about money, about whether I'm sleeping okay. I lie like it's a skill I learned back when we were kids anyway. We grew up sharing a bedroom, sharing blame, sharing scars. He learned how to disappear, I learned how to work hard. He stayed, I left, we both paid the cost. Funny how different choices still led to feeling lost. He says Dad's getting weaker, Mom pretends she doesn't see, says you should come visit more, like guilt is currency. After we hang up, I sit alone, thinking how blood remembers you. No matter how far you run, family always knows the truth. I realize success didn't save me, distance didn't make me strong. It just made missing people last too damn long. I don't know how to fix the past or become who I should have been. I just know it's time to stop running and learn how to show up again. spoken, careful sentences, like words could soften truth said. We caught it early, but early still sounds cruel. You held my hand like an anchor, like you weren't afraid at all. And I realized love shows up strongest when life starts to fall. I spent years worrying about nothing, deadlines, pride, control. Now I trade every ambition for one more normal day at home. I watched you sleep in the hospital chair, neck bent, breathing slow, thinking how love isn't fireworks, it's staying when things get low. You joked about your hair falling out like humor was armor you wore, but I cried in the parking lot because I couldn't joke anymore. Fear doesn't always scream. Sometimes it whispers at night, asking what you do with your life if you had to get it right. I promised myself quietly that if we make it through, I won't waste the second chance, living half true. Because sickness strips you bare, it shows you what remains. And love isn't what you say, it's what you choose when it hurts to stay. The house still smelled like old pine wood, and coffee burned too strong. The clock on the wall keeps ticking, like it's mad I stayed gone this long. Mama's Bible's still on the table, same verse marked in red. Daddy's boots sit by the back door, like he's just outside instead. I left this town chasing motion, highways, dreams, a bigger name. Thought freedom lived somewhere else, thought distance would change the pain. But every road I ever followed led me back to who I was. Funny how you can outrun memories, but never outrun blood. I left my boots by the back door, my pride by the sink. Came home carrying a suitcase full of things I couldn't fix. Learned real quick out there that louder don't mean strong, that silence can break you slower, but it breaks you just as long. I watched strangers call me brother, then forget me by next week. I learned how loneliness sounds in a crowded city street. Mama asked me if I was happy, I said I was doing fine. Funny how those two sentences never mean the same thing in time. Well, I left my boots by the back door, like an apology I owed to the kid I used to be before I ran from what I know. If I ever leave again, it won't be running this time. the back door, where the past forgives the floor. Some dreams teach you how to fly, others teach you what you're for.